Good morning. Friday, 23rd, February 23rd, 2024. It's a beautiful morning. Going through like a heat wave in Michigan, I guess you could say. So 36 in February at 8 o'clock in the morning, which is nice. It's going to be a good day today. Been having a good last few days with work and finally hit the golf range yesterday with a friend at work. Felt good. Definitely felt good. So I believe I had mentioned this before, but I have two kids, a 3.5-year-old girl named Aubrey and a 2.5-year-old boy named Frank Eden. And I'll say, like, there's a lot of hard stuff in the world, but being a parent, and I know it sounds so cliche, but like being a parent is very, very tough. Just from a lot of different aspects. Making sure you're doing like right by yourself and right by your kids and everything else. Like it's a tough game. But you know, it's one of those things that, like, man, it makes it almost impossible when like communication just isn't there. Like when everybody's on the same page and then somebody just isn't, and then nothing's communicated and nothing is like gone over, or like expectations are set, and you know, it's just very it makes things very, very difficult, you know. And it's like, you know, this is just on my mind, so it's just like, get it out of there. And like, you know, honestly, it's very, very hard to get on the same page when somebody doesn't want to get on the same page with you for various reasons or whatever it is. And it's just like, you know, you ultimately are putting like your own needs or wants before anything else, and then it like really just hinders the whole situation, and ultimately it just ends up affecting the kid. And it's like, it's weird because I see it all the time. Like, oh, somebody's mad at their, you know, their baby's dad or their child's mother or whatever, and it's like there's a lot of different reasons for that. And it's funny because like in just relationships in general, like you hear about everybody, oh, this guy was so, you know, whatever to me, or this girl was so whatever to me. It's like, I firmly believe that like everybody is inherently a good person, but like we all bring things out in each other that aren't necessarily flattering or whatever else. Like, you know, you could be a completely cool person, like, you know, it happens all the time. Somebody dates somebody a long time, then they turn around and they get married to, you know, even the next person or whatever else. It's like, oh yeah, that person was obviously a desirable person, but, you know, just didn't work out with one person or another, and that, you know, how that personality came across in that relationship, you know, just didn't mesh. So it's the same thing with like co-parenting, but in a different level. Like you're in a relationship, but you're not in a relationship. You're in a relationship of like just trying to be on the same page to make sure that, you know, your child is like in a good position and like in like a comfortable environment and all of this stuff. And you know, it's like certain ways that you want things to be, certain ways that they want things to be, may not be the exact same. And you know, it's hard to one, it's like an ego thing on like a personal end. It's hard to get over in that sense, like that somebody doesn't see it eye to eye as you, and it kind of hurts too, because it's like, you know, you had a child with this person, so you're like, at a certain point in time, like, okay, hey, maybe you like maybe we could make this work. Maybe we could like get this thing, going. Maybe we could, make a family out of this thing and whatever. Like there is a degree of that. But then it's like, if you're just never on the same page or lying or being disrespectful or whatever, it's just never, you're never going to get on the same page, because then it's just people are hurt or, not validated or like whatever it is. And it's just an interesting thing, man. Communication and relationships and like getting yourself out of the way, like getting your ego and like your own pride out of the way and being like, yo, because at the end of the day, when you become a parent, and again, this sounds cliche too, but when you become a parent, it just is like the most important thing are your kids, like making sure that everything is set with them. So it's like different barriers that you wouldn't cross aren't necessarily the same barriers that your significant other or the person that your co-parent wouldn't cross. That's like there's certain things that you would do that they wouldn't do, or vice versa. And when you're in a relationship, you can have a conversation about that, and then like you care enough about that other person to like, okay, hey, maybe I won't do that, or maybe I won't do this or whatever. But when you're like co-parenting, it's like, okay, you can't make me do that. So, but I'll drop them off at 6 or whatever else. It's a very tough. It's a very tough game, because you don't want to be dictated by the other person either. But at the same time, it's like you want to at least have some say in what goes on when you're not around too. So it's very, very hard. It's a very tricky dance, and I like to tip my hat to all the parents out there that make that work, because it is a hard gig, and one day to the next is one is easier than the next. So it's just sometimes you're gonna have obviously like be on like the same page, great communication, great togetherness, and then other times it's like just not that way. So it's just been on my mind. Just been kind of going through that last little bit here, but it just is what it is. Things get better. You learn, you mature, all of that. So, yeah, but made it to work finally. A lot of traffic today, but everybody make it a great day. Go from there. Appreciate it.